Welcome to Lab 3 for Busy 100 Management Information Systems class. What we're going to look at today is the initial database query lab. And the main points here I want to go through is to instruct all the students on how to turn in the various homework and lab assignments that are related to Microsoft Access and database queries. So first off, if you can open up a Microsoft PowerPoint, a blank PowerPoint, and I've just created one here, just called Lab 3 Database Query Lab as a title page. Put your name there so I know who's turning all of this in. And then let's have a new slide here. And we'll tackle, if we go over to Blackboard, we'll see the particular assignment. And so we're going to be working through problems 31, 29, 32, and 34 for this particular lab. And so this will be up here, exercise 31, let's say. And so let's minimize this. We have our PowerPoint created. And launch, the next step is to launch Rolling Thunder. Now, you want to be able to get Rolling Thunder from the Jerry Post website, so www.jerrypost.com, and then from there you can find the link and download the zip file for Rolling Thunder. Make sure you save that in a place that you can edit the file, and then you can launch the file. And once you launch it, it should pop up with this particular intro splash screen for being able to process orders and so forth. And I'm not going to go into the detail on this one, but just to show you that's normally what will pop up. So the first thing I want everyone to take a look at, though, is let's look at that ERD, the Entity Relationship Diagram, which is underneath Database Tools. Click on Relationships, and there we have all of the tables that are in this database. So far in class we've been working with some very simple databases with 1, 2, 3 tables. Now all of a sudden we have approximately 24 different tables. You can also see this in your book, the PDF file in your book on page 248 there. You can see the entity relationship diagram. Our favorite table that we're going to be mainly using in a lot of the class is the bicycle table. The bicycle table has a listing or a row for every single order of a bicycle that we've sold. We're also going to be working with today the employee table, which is a listing of all the employees that are currently employed by Rolling Thunder and what their salaries are. So let's take a look at problem number 31. List all the employees with a salary greater than $40,000. So as you might guess, we're going to start with the employee table, and that will be a fairly straightforward query. And so let's go back to Create, Query Design. Again, we have now our total list of all the different tables that are in the system, and we're going to select the employee table and add that to the top section. And we can close that out. This will be a relatively simple query in that we are only going to be using one table. And here's our list of fields and so forth. So if we want to list, going back to the problem, list the employees, we have to think about, okay, what kind of information do we want to show when we're talking about listing employees? Probably want their last name, first name, maybe phone number. And one other key piece of information is their salary. We want to, because that, if you remember, with the 4 database questions, we know which table we're going after. In this case, we don't have any joins. Here's the output we want to see, and then the last part is the criteria. So we would enter in the criteria here and say greater than 40,000. Tab over there, run the query, and there's our list. Now, your data may be slightly different than what you are seeing here in this particular video cam because of the variations of the database. Also notice I had to expand out this field so I can actually see the entire columns, but that should be my result. I shouldn't have anybody less than 40,000. So in order to save this, what I want you to do is take a screenshot of the design page here, and the easiest way to do that is to hold down the the alternate key and print screen. So if you look on your keyboard, you're going to want to do alternate print screen, and that will take the active window. And then we'll go back to our presentation and paste that in here. And then we can resize that as needed. You can make it smaller just so that it fits on one slide. And this is what's called the design view within Microsoft Access. Then I'm going to go back over to Rolling Thunder, run the query again, and again do a alternate print screen to grab the output view and paste that in here. And so now I have both the design view and the output view, and you can save this particular PowerPoint presentation. This is what you can save that here, and so on. This is what will be turned in to Blackboard. Now let's take a quick look at problem number 34 and from the book. So if I jump over to the book here and scroll down and look at list the customers who live in Miami, Florida. So if we go back up and view the ERD, the entity relationship diagram, we will see that we have a customer table, so that's probably what we want to get at. But we also have some issues about where the customer may live in. And so let's go back in and create a new query, and we will add the customer to the table. And so if we add, let's say, first name, last name, and phone number, because maybe we want to contact these particular customers. But notice that in this particular list here, we do not have, we have city ID, but let's run this particular query. We have the city ID, but that's just a number. We want to know who lives in, go back down here, Miami, Florida. So let's go back to the design view, and I'm going to remove this particular column here. And what I need to do is click on this little show table icon and bring up another table. In this case, the city table is one that has the additional information. So this is a case where I need to do a join between customer and city via city ID. And here I have city and state. And I'm going to need to use both of these to complete the query. But I'm going to let you, for the rest of the lab, to work on the details here as far as what the filters would be. Again, if I run this, I now have a listing of all of my customers with the city that they live in and the state, state abbreviation. So this will wrap up the Intro to Lab 2. And again, what you'll want to do on the homework here is add a new slide and do exercise 32, 29, and 34, and you would put in your design views and so forth right in here. So remember, each query needs to have 2 screenshots, and at the end you'll have 4 or 5 total slides in this presentation. Okay, that should take care of